Hey guys, it's Varun from Mr. Phone and I'm back with another laptop review for you guys. This right here is the ASUS VivoBook X509 and honestly with a starting price of just rupees 30,990, this just might be the perfect budget entry level laptop for you guys. Well, without wasting any more time, let's get right to it. Oh, I almost forgot. Make sure to subscribe to the Mr. Phone channel and hit that bell icon to make sure you are tuned for all our upcoming videos. By the way, we've got some amazing giveaways coming soon, so there's a spoiler alert for you guys. First up, let's talk about the design. For starters, the overall design feels bulky. At 1.9 kgs, the laptop is definitely lightweight. However, considering everything inside is a mobile variant hardware, I feel ASUS could have made things thinner or reduced the weight a tad bit. There isn't anything unique to the design, and that's fine since this design language has become synonymous with the ASUS VivoBook lineup. It is built out of plastic, which is something you would expect from a laptop in this price segment. The I/O is one department where ASUS has really upped the ante. On the left side, you get a DC charging port, a USB Type-C, a full-size HDMI port, and a USB 3.1 Type-A port. Over to the right side, you get a Kensington lock, two USB-A ports, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a microSD card slot, which is followed by the LED indicators. The fact that you get USB Type-C on such an entry-level laptop is something that really blew my mind. I mean, it opens a door for making use of all the modern peripherals that you will get to use in today and the years coming on. Alright, let's talk about the display. So, the display on the VivoBook X509 is pretty bad, and it's mainly down to the panel itself. Yes, you get a full HD IPS display, but the color accuracy here is just bad. The display feels quite warm from the get-go, and even after spending a good amount of time trying to calibrate or tune it using the company's True Tone software, the result was still pretty bad. Thanks to its size, ASUS has managed to fit in a full-sized keyboard here with the numpad here as well. The overall layout isn't bad either. It doesn't take that long to get accustomed to the key sizes, which, to be fair, are pretty decently sized. However, my major complaint with the keyboard was with the overall feedback that you get from typing. So what ASUS has done is that they've installed a metal chassis underneath the keyboard, which allows for better cooling for the motherboard as well as preventing flex on the keyboard itself. Now, while that is good, the way it affects is that the overall feedback offered by the keyboard is not that good. The keys feel rather stiff, and if you're someone like me who types fast and likes to mash the keys, the sound is another thing that might irritate you. The touchpad here is pretty much the same as every other VivoBook out there that we've usually seen on the Mr. Phone channel, which is both a good and a bad thing. Speaking about the positives first, you get a Windows Precision Drivers supported touchpad to ensure all your gestures work just fine. There is also a fingerprint scanner to the top right corner of the touchpad. Thanks to Windows Hello, you can easily log into your device. I just wish that ASUS would have offered a slightly bigger touchpad, especially considering the chassis size, since that would have made the gesture experience a whole lot better. Nonetheless, the touchpad experience on the VivoBook X509, especially at this price tag, is pretty good. For a laptop at this price, the audio experience of the VivoBook X509 was actually surprisingly damn good. It features a dual speaker setup that is actually bottom firing. However, the speakers themselves are quite powerful, and by powerful, I mean loud. There is a decent amount of bass, but the sound levels are not that good. That said, the overall output feels fine for most use cases, and you should not have major issues with the device. The X509 can be configured in three options: the Intel Core i3, i5 and i7 processors. While I have with me the i7 variant coupled with the MX230 GPU, performance on all the variants is pretty good for their respective prices. For most of you out there who are considering the i3 budget variant, the device still performs quite swiftly in day-to-day activities. The major credit, however, for this amazing performance goes primarily to the storage. You see, even at a starting price tag of rupees 30,990, the VivoBook X509 comes pre-equipped with a 128GB of PCIe SSD. And no matter how high you go up the price ladder, every variant comes fitted with an PCIe SSD and an optional hard disk drive. Add to that the fact that the soldered 4GB DDR4 RAM on here is running at a higher clock speed of 2667 MHz, thus further boosting the performance. The laptop isn't built for gaming though, and even if you decide to get the MX230 GPU, that won't aid you in your desires either. For thermals, the X509 makes use of a new design similar to a blower system in a desktop grade graphics card. Basically, the fan sucks in the air from the bottom of the laptop and throws it towards the motherboard. There are plenty of grooves on the motherboard surface to allow for easy passage of the air. As a result, the entire motherboard is cooled while also keeping the fan spinning at a quiet pace. As for upgradability, almost everything here can be swapped out. The M2 SSD slot, the SATA hard disk slot, a single RAM slot, and even the Wi-Fi card are easily accessible. Let me just quickly cue you back to the internal shot of the laptop and zoom in on the battery. There, that's a 32 watt-hour battery. As such, you can pretty much imagine where I'm going with this. The VivoBook X509 offers a decent battery backup at the very best. In my testing, I got about 3 hours of backup from this thing, which is just decent for its price. The bundle charger here is quite small though, which is good considering you'd have to carry it along to work. The only question that now remains is whether you should buy the VivoBook X509 or not, whether it gets my thumb of recommendation or not. And well, to answer that question, you'll have to look at all the variants objectively. There are multiple configurations of the X509 available. The i3 variant starts at Rs 30,990, the i5 variant starts at Rs 42,990 and the i7 variant starts at Rs 59,990. When you consider its competition, the i3 variant is an easy recommendation. It acts like a great starting point, which also keeps the door open for future upgrades. With the i5 variant, you do get some competition in the form of the Acer Aspire 3 and the Dell Inspiron 15. In that segment, it comes down to your preference over portability, power, or battery. Depending upon that, you can choose either of the options. However, with the i7 variant, the VivoBook X509 has possibly no market, considering that at just 5 grand extra, you can get the Acer Nitro 5, which is a full-fledged gaming laptop with way better specifications. Bottom line, if you're looking specifically for a good budget laptop, the ASUS VivoBook X509 is a great choice. And well, that was it. If you want an even thorough review of the device, make sure to check out the link in the description box below where I've done a text review of the VivoBook X509. Also, comment below if you have any doubts or any other queries or any other requests for upcoming reviews. Well, that's me signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.